what we might do for assignment number 4. Let's see, where are we here? And let's go to webdev, client, and git branch. Let's see where we are. Git status. Okay, so I'm going to leave that. I'm going to create a new branch where we're going to add some of the things that we need for assignment number 4. So git checkout -b assignment -4. Assignment 4, right? This is the 4th assignment. Okay. Okay, so in there, let's do a couple things. Let's start by maybe creating a, well, seeing if what we have here, we have whiteboard. Let's see if we could run that. So we'll say, not maybe, npm start. Well, let me see what version do I have first. So nvm list. Okay. So we'll say npm start. See what we have so far. Oh, it looks like I already have something running. Let me stop that, and then we can start this one. Okay, that's. I think this is what I shared with you for a sample for the assignment, right? So let's focus now on how we would start with the widget. So let's have here maybe a start with a component, and this might be a widget list. So let's start with that. So this might be a widget list.js, and yes, we're going to be adding this. And let's import React from React, and here we're just going to do const widget list, and this just returns div and h1 widget list. Okay, and then we can export this. Export default, and this is widget list. All right, awesome. So let's now from index start. Let's start brand new. So for now, we'll just load widget list. Why are you not loading it? Import widget list from components widget list. And there's my widget list, widget list. So we render that, it breaks. Oh, there it is, widget list. All right, so what I'd like to be able to do is to have a reducer that generates for me a default list of widgets that maybe might come from a widget service, right? But first, let's start with something simple. So let's create a reducer here. So reducers. So this is widget reducer, and this reducer, it's just going to be it's going to be just a function that can take as argument a state and an action that is just going to return. For now, we can do a const widgets. Could be an array, and this array could be objects here that might have IDs and might have maybe a title for the widget. So widget 1. We can have just a couple of these. Let's see if we can get this over to our widget list. Right, and for now, the default is just widgets. Actually, no. Let's make this a little more widgets. There we go. Like that. Am I missing something? Widgets. Okay, like that. There we go. So that's my initial, or this might be a JSON object that you can load from a file. Yes? Or maybe it could be that same file that that I shared with you, embedded in there, under some topic. Okay? But for now, let's start with something like this. And so here we're just going to say that we're going to return the state. Okay, we're just returning the state, which is that object that contains the widgets. Everybody good? All right. So let's create a container that can map this reducer, right, to some properties. For instance, the widget list. One of the things that it might have as properties is the widgets. Somebody's going to pass it the widgets, and it just has to iterate over them and display them. Okay? Right now, what we might do is just display maybe the widgets dot length, because presumably this is an array of widgets. Okay? So let's keep it something simple as that. So all right, so we have the reducer. Let's do a container that can do the mapping between the reducer and that property, that widget list, right? So what we'd like to be able to do is map this state widgets, map it to this property widgets, right? So let's do that. So let's do container. So containers, and this is widget list container. So in here, we'll need React. From React, we'll need connect from Redux, React Redux. Oh, we never installed it. All right, so we'll need to install all this, right? So let's go back here. And are we in the right place? Okay, so npm install Redux, save. Oh, I might have the wrong version here. nvm use 10. Okay, that's better. Okay, while that's installing, let's go back to where we were. This will resolve in a minute. We'll need to also import here the actual component. So we'll bring a widget list from. We're gonna go up one, down to components, and down to widget list. There it is. We'll need a mapper, right? That's going to take the state and map the state.widgets, map it to the widgets property, right? So let's do that. So it'll be a const state to property mapper that's going to take the state as an argument, and it's just going to return an object, a map that says map the property widgets to the state.widget. Okay? And then finally, we need to do the connection. Let me see if that's done. All right, it's done. Let me install. So install React Redux. So React Redux, and leave that going in the background. Okay, so let's create the actual container. So widget list container will be the result of calling connect, and connect is going to connect the state to property mapper. We're going to connect it to the widget list. Okay? And we're going to export this. So export default, and this is widget list container. So that now we just need to load that here from the index. We'll need to load the reducer. Right? So let's load the reducer. So import the reducer, and the reducer is widget reducer from reducers and widget list reducer. Okay. We'll also need, what else do we need? We need the create store. We'll need that too, right? That's so create store. That's from where? From That's React, just plain old React. And we'll also need, what else do we need? We need the provider, right? The provider from the React React-Redux. I'm sorry? Create store. Oh, sorry. Yes, Redux, of course. So we'll create the store. So we'll do const store from the create store. We'll pass in the reducer, the widget reducer, and then we're going to feed the store through a provider. Right, we're going to feed it through a provider. We say provider. The store will be the store. And we're going to feed that to the container. So the widget list container, which we didn't load. So let's load the widget list container. So import widget list container from the containers and the widget list container. So let's load that. So widget list container, there we go. Let's see if we broke this beyond repair. Apparently so. Let's see. Widgets, duplicate declaration. Oh, looks like my reducer, I call them the same thing. Oh yeah, widgets and widgets. So we'll call this widget reducer. And we need to export this, right? So this will be export the default, the widget reducer. There we go. So notice it says widget list 2 because there are two widget lists in there, right? Indeed. So we were able to feed that state to the component. Basically, we need to be able to iterate over this, right? So as we iterate over this in the widget list component, where are you? Widget list component. We would like to maybe map this. We could say, widgets dot map, and then we could say maybe, so this is a particular widget, and then we want to render maybe as an li. Maybe the outside is a UL with a list group, and each one of these could be maybe an independent li with list group item. There we go. And in here, maybe we can render the widget dot title, right? And we need to give it a unique identifier, which will be the widget dot ID. Widgets, unexpected token. What am I missing here? Widgets, UL maybe. Close that. Close that. No quiz today. Oh, there we go. So there was widgets. Maybe I renamed them wrong. So this is widget 1 and widget 2. Oh, you don't want to stay if there's no quiz? But anyway, so notice that we could have the type here. So this could be type, and the type that might be that this is a heading, right? And maybe you have a here you have a type that this is an image, right? So depending on the image and the type, what we could do is that we could have different components for each one of the types. So we might have a heading, ding, widget. Please, no mumbling. I spelled it wrong. So let me rename that. So the heading widget might be also a constant. So it might be an import React from React. And this would be const heading widget that might render just a simple heading. So this might return just a h1 heading widget for now. And let's export this. Export default heading widget. And you could have several of these, right? So we have, which one did we use before? Widget list. What types do we have? We have heading and image, right? So in the image one, let's copy this and say that this is the image widget. Image widget. And the image widget, this might say image. Okay. So as you're iterating over this, in the widget list, we can import these two. So we can import the heading widget from heading widget, and we can import the other one too. So this would be the image widget. In the okay, probably not. So in the let's go here. We'll change this. So this is image, and this is image 2, right? So here the list as it's iterating. Let's make this a div. And so what we could do here, that as it's rendering, depending on the type, let me comment that out. Depending on the type, we could say, well, if the widget dot type is equal to heading and a heading widget, then it'll render the heading widget. It looks like I'm missing something. Heading widget. What am I missing here? I have a syntax here. Statement unexpected. Oh, probably I need a parentheses here and another parentheses here. There we go. No, so maybe like that. Widget type. I have a syntax error. All right, I ran out of time. I'm going to fix this on my way down on the bus, and then I'll push this in tonight and share with you. All right? Excellent. All right, thank you.